My name is Brittany Larson, and I'm a 26-year-old female. I travel a lot, but a lot of my friends either don't have the money or the time to travel with me, so I will just go alone and meet people during my travels. I went to South America for a month in December of 2011. I was flying to Quito, Ecuador. I had also scheduled a separate flight during that time to fly from Ecuador to Peru to visit for a week. Towards the end of this trip, I decided I really wanted to visit Colombia as well. Against my mom's best wishes urging me not to go based on how dangerous she believed Colombia was, I went anyway. There was this guy from New Mexico who agreed to go with me. Instead of flying, we took the bus to Cali, Colombia to spend New Year's Eve there. Before we left, we were researching hotels. Everything except technology is cheap in South America, but being in college at the time, I wanted a hotel that was especially cheap, but I still wanted something nice. We both didn't really end up finding anything we liked. In South America, you can easily find hostels for less than $8. However, this is advised against because the conditions may not be safe or sanitary. We decided to just go to Cali and wing it in terms of finding a hostel or hotel. By the time we finally got there, it had started to get a little later, and we unanimously decided it was time to start finding a hostel. We met up with 2 other Colombians on the bus and asked them for recommendations. We had been walking and zigzagging on random streets trying to find something, until a kinda hole-in-the-wall looking place on the outside caught our eye. We decided we were going to stay there, and the Colombians decided to stay in the same place as well. This place was a hotel rather than a hostel. It was called Hotel Americana. I hesitated because I figured it was going to be more expensive, and when we went in, the place inside was much nicer than I expected it to be. When I asked the rates of the rooms, they replied that they were only charging $24 a night to stay in this beautiful hotel. Not only that, but the charge includes both breakfast and lunch for free. If you so choose, you can also have dinner at the hotel for a small additional fee every night you choose to have dinner. We all decided we were going to stay in the same hotel all week. For the most part, throughout the week, we ended up just eating at the hotel because it was the most convenient and cheapest option. The rooms were really nice as well. This place was probably an honest equivalent to a 3.5-star hotel back in the United States. But this was a very nice place for a lot of hotels in South America. Strangely, however, shortly after eating breakfast the day after we arrived, I felt sick to my stomach. I never puked, but I had this sharp abdominal pain that wouldn't subside for a full 48 hours. It was menstrual cramps times 100, and no matter how I stood, sat, or laid down, I could just not get comfortable in any position. But it disappeared the second day, and I felt a lot better to go out and do things. All goes well for the rest of the trip, and after we part ways, me and the guy from New Mexico, as well as the other 2 Colombians, add each other on Facebook before parting our own ways. But once I return to the United States, we never speak again. Fast forward 11 months. One day in November 2012, I got a message notification from the guy from New Mexico. Strange, I thought, as we never spoke to each other after Colombia, and it was just really random to hear from him again. "Hello," he said. I furrowed my brows in person with a confused look on my face, but responded, "Hello." He asks me how I've been, as if he's watching the chat notification, just waiting for me to send a message, with his response already typed, and pushed enter without typing anything additional as soon as I said hello. I responded, "Good. How have you been? Long time no chat." Instead of answering my question, however, he posts a hyperlink and tells me that I may want to read this. "What is it?" I ask him before clicking anything, but he doesn't answer. I type another question mark, but still no response. I get irritated and just decide to click the damn hyperlink. Although I still thought it was really weird and random for him to just send me a random hyperlink after not talking to me for almost a year. I click the hyperlink, waiting for the page to load, as I wonder what it was he wanted me to read. The page loads, and I freeze. 3 people on trial for eating and selling human flesh pastries, says the title. No way. I type in Brazilian human meat pies in Google and see if this is the truth. It is. I click another article. I see their picture. The same 3 faces I saw managing the hotel, cooking my food, making my bed, that entire week. Eating their food for an entire week. Including, yes, those empanadas. Evidently, these people would consistently move from place to place. They must have sold their hotel after relocating to Brazil, and were finally caught shortly after moving there. I couldn't find any information about the possibility of these people cooking this tainted meat at a hotel in Colombia. However, I learned that, just like the president of Venezuela who denies that the country has issues with crime and refuses to release crime statistics to the rest of the world as a result, evidently the same is true in Colombia. When crime statistics are not released, the only way to see any crime is to go down there and see it for yourself. Therefore, even if they had been caught selling in this hotel, it likely would have never made it to any sort of newspaper or internet article. I sat there, frozen, as I read about the murders. But I couldn't read any more after I started reading about the pieces of flesh being put into pies. I came to the realization that, although I'm not 100% sure, there is a strong possibility that I was eating murdered flesh for an entire week. This technically classifies me, for the rest of my life, as a cannibal. I freaked out. I call my mom crying, saying, "Oh my God, I'm a cannibal! Oh my God, I'm a freak!" And she calms me down. I then call my sister, still upset. She has me on speakerphone with my brother-in-law overhearing this. So what does he do? Post Hannibal Lecter on my Facebook. I was livid at first, but now, looking back, that is kind of humorous. I then set up an appointment with a physician, and after explaining this very creepy, awkward story of mine, he says there's no test to verify whether I did or did not consume human flesh, because any contaminant remaining would have been eliminated from my body within 48 through 72 hours after my last, believed to be tainted, meal. Shit. No way to verify this. I wanted to verify to put myself at ease in hopes that I didn't eat human flesh, but obviously that's not happening. The more I read into it, these people were nuts, wackos, complete lunatics. Evidently, they would promise young women jobs, then trap them once they got inside their house and kill them, followed by harvesting them. There are anywhere from 3 to 5 recorded victims, but probably actually more. They believed that they were purifying the world by doing this. The man in this situation even wrote a book about one of the murders of a 17-year-old girl he committed. What the fuck? Could I have really eaten this? What chills me to the fucking bone to this day is wondering if I had actually chewed and swallowed someone who was just previously brutally murdered. And I also wonder if that had almost been me. If you would like to read more on this story, I'll make sure to include the link to the article in the description. If you enjoyed this video, you should probably see a doctor. If you would like a chance to have your story featured in an upcoming video, make sure to check the description for information on how to submit your stories. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think I would wonder for the rest of my life if I was a cannibal or not. Granted, it's not something that she's gonna go out and keep doing, I hope, unless she's developed a taste for it, but I highly doubt it by the sounds of this story. It would still be something stuck in the back of my mind. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video. And just remember, it's always scarier if it's true.